Happy Thursday! Welcome to our live today. Noise, I see that you're popping in early this time. Good for you, good for you. So we'll just kind of chill out for a second. I just want to remind everybody, make sure you have a nice glass of water or tea, just something to keep your voice nice and lubricated as you work it out. Pencil, pen, paper, just in case we say something prolific and you don't want to forget it. But today's video is actually inspired, as many of the lives will be going forward, by a specific question about warming up. And I wanted to give it its due because it's super important. And I think it's one of those things for a lot of singers. It's like, yeah. I just want to sing. I just want to pop into my song. Or for many singers who say, well, I warm up singing songs. So I just wanted to talk really quickly as to why the warm-up is so important, and specifically how you want to look at your warm-up, because the voice is really complex. So the reason why warming up is so important is because it kind of cues up your body. It wakes up your body. It's like a runner not necessarily stretching their muscles or really getting their heart rate up, waking their body up so that those muscles can fire off, but just instead starting the race completely cold. So that's the same kind of way that singing without warming up can do for your voice. The other reason catering warm-up specifically for your voice is it's very complicated. And hopefully by the end of today's voice lesson, I just got distracted. We love you, Madeleine. I love you guys too. The reason why we want to warm up our voice, or that we want to cater a warm-up specific to whatever it is we're working on. Let me say that better. I can do better than that. So let's say you're a singer and you're learning foundations, or you're a professional singer, but you're coming back to foundations. You want to create a very essential, simple warm-up that by your demonstration lets the voice know that going forward, this is what we're going to do. You have to clarify your intention for your voice. That way your muscles know how to respond. They know how to adapt and respond and be both strong and yet flexible. But let's say you're a singer that is working on a specific song and you want to go for a specific kind of tone placement. Well, you want to be sure to include that in your warm-up, because again, it's all about saying, hey body, I want this kind of sound, so let's cater this kind of movement, just so that we know what we're getting into and we can ease into that slowly and effectively, rather than just jumping into the song. So thank you guys for being here. I love that you're here. These lives are for you and for us to create a community of singers together. That way we can explore our voice. But I just wanted to say that if you enjoy these videos, remember to click that like button and press that subscribe button. That way you can hit the bell and be notified once these lives go. And if it is a weird or wonky time zone for you, be sure to click the link below. We'll have a way for you to navigate it's 12 p.m. Nashville time for me, but we'll have that link below so that you can figure out what time it is for you. That way you can be here. We'd love to see you here. So warm-ups today. I just want to warn you guys. Simple, very simple. So not easy. So not easy. So I do not want you to get discouraged if you get frustrated. My intention is to actually frustrate you, to give you something that you can grow into. And I'll also give you maneuvers that if it's actually too easy, how you can make it a little bit more hard for yourself. But when you're catering a warm-up, always, no matter if it's for a specific goal or just a nice foundational go-to warm-up, you want to look at it as in these three ways. We've got your power is created by the lungs. Okay, it's like your engine. Warm-ups are mostly for your lungs, because that's the one thing that we have to kind of wake up so that we have the proper amount of support. Then we have kind of the focuser, the vocal cords. They vibrate which takes that channel of air and it focuses it into a nice stream of air. And then we have our amplifier, which is our resonating system. So you want to be able to do something that just says, hello, wake up, to each one of those things. So I'll say that one more time. An exercise for your lungs, which is what we're going to do. An exercise to focus that air through your vocal cords. We're going to do that too. And then an exercise that gets that amplification process going inside of the head space. So once you know that, then you can kind of layer whatever exercises really help you to focus on the goals that you're going for specifically. Does all that make sense so far? I sure do hope so. I sure do hope so. So I gave a fair warning, and we're gonna start with the lungs. We're gonna start with the lungs. So I have a small straw here, and I know that I didn't give you guys a warning about the straw. We can make a movement with our lips that will suffice today as we warm up together. What you can do is just get a nice little juice box straw, like grape juice, apple juice. The circumference of the straw, what we're going for is about 3 millimeters. I don't expect you guys to be able to recognize what 3 millimeters is, but it's about the circumference of a juice box straw. If it's something smaller, like a Capri Sun straw, I think that's about 1.5 to 2 millimeters. That's gonna make you panic. So again, I'm just getting particular. I'm getting a little pedantic here, but you can create movement or the shape that we're going for with our lips. So this is what we're gonna start with. We're gonna go for 3 minutes. It's gonna be very hard. I'm gonna do it with you. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna do 8 counts, pulling that air as if we're pulling in a milkshake through a straw. We wanna target on the side body and the back body. This muscle system is called the intercostals. We wanna work them out. If you feel like you're breathing up here, then I want you to actually shift at the hips, move forward, and see if you can breathe into your back. That's the focus. Get the bottom of the lungs kind of awake in both the inhale and the exhale. So 8 counts, inhale, and then we're going to push full power, 8 counts, exhale. Now I will actually have a metronome going. If you guys have a metronome, the ideal time, beats per minute, is about 76 beats per minute. It's a little bit of a challenge. It's a little slow. So I just want to keep you focused, keep you going, but we are going to really activate the lungs. We're going to do it together. Let me shift to my metronome here. It's going to be slightly annoying because you're just going to hear it click, click, click. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's what we're going for. We're going to keep that going. And I'm going to start me a stopwatch now. Ready? Remember to feel it down here. Here we go. Inhale. Good, and rest. Ah, very good, very good. That is so hard. It's so hard. But it gets your lungs kind of toned up like a muscle, really getting that nice support as if you're toning your lungs just like a muscle. We have to be sure that we get to the bottom of the lungs. That part of the lungs, most of us have kind of passive lifestyles where we'll sit, maybe work at a computer or at a piano, and we just kind of stay at rest as we do that, which means our breath is kind of shallow. It's just nice and slow, not really getting a full engagement of the diaphragm. Exactly. It should, oh my God, yes. Very hard, very hard, sneaky hard. Partly because as we pull those intercostal muscles, which really allows that inhale to get strong, nice and strong, and then the exhale pushes, it engages the entire diaphragmatic system, which includes the abs, the intercostals, and your back. That's where we want to be, in the back. So if you notice that you need to kind of just shift forward, feel that expansion in the back. Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be. And then full power push out that exhale. Now, what we're doing, if you're using a straw, great. If you don't have a straw handy because I didn't warn you ahead of time, that's okay too. You can use your lips, but it's very important to like imagine that you're trying to drink like a milkshake through a straw, because that resistance goes straight to the bottom of the lungs. We don't have a way of engaging this part of our lungs unless we're doing specific like breath work or we're doing cardio exercise. And it's very important because a lot of times music is very demanding for the voice. So we've got to make sure those lungs are nice and awake and ready to go. 3 minutes is a long time. I really did set you guys up for a nice challenge, partly because the lungs do not get a chance to relax. They don't get to go, oh, I'm done. They have to stay engaged on the inhale, engaged on the exhale. They just have to keep going. You're getting plenty of air. I know that if you struggled with it, you probably felt like, I need to breathe. That's not the response. The response is the lungs just want to relax. It's like just kind of getting tired. They just get a little fatigued and they get a little tired. But the more you work with this, the better your lung capacity is going to be. So now that we've warmed up our lungs, ready to go, just feeling that nice concentrated release of the air into that resonating system. So we're going to work with a lip trill. And if you were me in classical conservatory, whenever my teacher would be like, oh, you got to do lip trills, I'd be like, oh, so lame. It's so lame. Partly because I didn't know how to do it. I struggled a lot with lip trills or tongue trills. But let me explain to you why trills are so important. And we're going to find a lot of challenge in this specific trill. Trills are exercises that just balance the voice. Balances it in terms of air pressure. Now, I want you to commence that to memory today. Air pressure, air pressure, air pressure. That's our friend. We just created nice, low breath, lung capacity in our body. So now we want to create a sense of focusing that air pressure up through the body so that it can also concentrate itself into our resonating system. So lip trills do that very, very well. So what we're gonna try to do anyways. I'm gonna struggle with it. You might struggle with it. We're here for each other. We're gonna go very slow. Oh yeah, very, very, very difficult. We are ascending, which means the air pressure is increasing. It increases as it goes higher, but the doozy about this exercise is support those notes as you descend, because that air pressure is going to rapidly start to drop on the descent. Higher notes are not only faster with frequency, they require more concentrated airflow. So as we go down, you better keep that exhale going. If you notice that your trill is like p, 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 that's also letting you know that there's some fluctuation in the flow of your air. It's okay to be frustrated. It's actually really hard to do, but just keep coming back, keep focusing it, and just, it's like you're blowing the air out. It's cold. Just like that. Woo, cold. If you need other assistance, fingers on the corners of your lip to just help your face stay nice and relaxed. So this is our exercise. Focus and be full of intent about each note. You're holding your voice in a sort of time under tension. This is going to give you lots of control and consistency. It's just hard. Let's try it together. Feel that same sense of support that we just created. Hard. Imagine you're blowing through that straw or through your lips. Oh, it's so hard. Now, I just want to say, if you're wondering, like I used to wonder a lot, why are the low notes really, really difficult? Well, it's because your body is under some kind of stress with trying to support this entire phrase. And as you descend, it's like, yes, the voice gets so excited. Like I get to finally like plop on the couch and eat nothing but potato chips and watch some Netflix. It's like it just wants to hurry up and relax. Don't let it relax. Don't let it relax. We're trying to manage. We're trying to manage what is necessary. And we've got this sort of paradox going on, and this is why singing is really, really technically difficult, is this paradox of trying to hold on and let go at the same time. So we're trying to go really slow. That way we manage what is necessary, what's required for this phrase, this musical phrase. But at the same time, we know that we have to relax a little bit while we get that done, but we can't fully let go. We can't fully relax. Our air flow will become unfocused, and there goes the trill. So let's try this one together. Noise. I think squirrels have large lungs. I actually agree. I think squirrels might have large lungs. Here we go. Breathe in. Push down. Breathe in. Push down. Good. Lean forward as if you're trying to do a crunch. Stay as active in your body as possible. Here we go. Take it down. Be so intentional. Finish strong. Now notice I kind of slipped off of my air for a second. I will tell a lot of my students that singing feels a lot like gymnastics, trying to stay on the beam. And one little thing kind of makes you bobble, and then you can very quickly fall off that beam. So the important thing to do is, first of all, realize that is going to happen. Yeah, it's just part of the training. It's just part of the work. But don't lose your focus. Stay as focused as possible. What you will notice is that that diaphragm on that exhale, it doesn't have anything, not the diaphragm, but your airflow doesn't have anything to hold on to. So there's absolutely no chance for any compensatory squeezing or shouting or pushing to happen on a trill, which is another reason I love it so much. But because it has nothing to hold on to, all the responsibility kind of goes to the diaphragm. And for a lot of people, 100% of all of us, we get lazy kind of around our middles. Our diaphragms get sort of uncommitted. They're not committed to the task. So when we are descending, Really imagine like you're doing a crunch at the gym. Keep that diaphragm lifted. Keep those abs engaged. Let's try that one again. These lower notes are going to get hard. They're going to get really hard because that airflow drops. The vibration of the sound is wider, meaning it's not as intense, and the voice wants to relax. So really stay focused. Let's try that one again. Ooh, so hard. You guys are watching me struggle today. Oh my, oh my. But yes, really, really hard. And I do think it's important to struggle in the right ways. Not, struggle for the sake of struggling, but be challenged. And I definitely wanted to slow this trill exercise down because it's a whole different ball game when things are slow. And I really want to impart that to you because it's a major attitude of my teaching philosophy. If you can do it slow, you can do it fast. Easy. So easy. If you can do it slow, you can do it fast. There are two components of vocal development we all want for Christmas. We all want, and that's strength and flexibility. Now, the only thing that separates the both of them is time. And I know that's weird, but consider it like this. If you were to do this exercise slow, which you can take a song melody and try this in a song melody. This teaches your body to stay focused, stay committed over time. That's that time under pressure, time under tension. That's how we get nice, powerful lungs and nice supportive behaviors. But if you can do it nice and slow, you are sustaining the voice. You're having it in a sustain, but you are moving it. Now, the simple fact that you're sustaining it is the operative element to strengthening the voice, right? It's like going to the gym and doing something really, really slow. That's how you get stronger. That's how the strength is applied. But the simple fact that you're moving and it's a nice controlled movement is what allows for flexibility. Bang! Those are the two things. That is how we get both power and freedom, is do it slow, so slow. So even though this is a challenge, these two exercises, working out the lungs and lip trill. Now the lip trill checks a lot of boxes. It focuses your diaphragm, column of air goes up through the vocal cords. There is no chance of compensatory response, meaning we can't go, or we can't push to get that going. So we have to be able to isolate the correct amount of core tension, what's required for the cords to focus the air. They focus the air up into the resonating spaces. So that's one exercise that gets both of those things. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I hope this has been helpful. I know that singing is really confusing and it's really complicated, and it's also something that is completely customizable for each person. So if this exercise, if this warm-up works for you, I would like for you to, look at me being all bossy, I want you to do it every day. I think it's about 20 minutes. Don't skimp out on that lung work. That's a lot. That is everything that you need to get the bottom of the lungs behaving. That's what it all comes down to. We want all exercises to kind of demonstrate how do we want the body to behave? What do we want the body to do? Do we want it to be behaving and cooperating in ways that are open and supportive? Or do we just feel so out of control with our voice that it teaches all the muscles to kind of collapse and squeeze? As we open and support, we're going to get lots of wobbles, and that's just part of the growth. But go slow with both of these exercises. As soon as you're done with them, your voice is ready to sing. Cool. So I'm just going to take a couple minutes to answer some questions. I kind of went on screensaver, Forrest Gump mode there for a second. So if you would like for me to answer a question for you, be sure to leave some question marks at the very, very end. And one thing before I forget, if you like these lives, we do have a couple of modules available on Skillshare. It's about 6 hours of vocal training available on Skillshare now. There's going to be so much more to come. So if you really enjoy these lives and want to continue your growing, then check those out. Cool. So let me go ahead and get to some comments. Noise, love you. How long should a good warm-up take? Well, that depends. It depends. You can cater it to whatever you want, but I would say a good warm-up is about 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes. You can do your lung work and you can do your trill work, and then you're ready to go. But if you're going for something, let's say, like a rap, like rapping, then you're going to want to activate your articulators, which means take your melodic line and work your rhythm. So it really depends on what style you're singing and how much stress your voice is going to be under. But about 15, 20 minutes should do the trick. Never skimp out on lung work. That's, if you look at it like this, I know I'm rambling. I am always giving myself notes like, stop talking. But all vocal compensatory issues, all bad vocal habits come from one place, and that is so good to know. And that one place is lack of consistent airflow. That's it. Rejoice, rejoice. We can work on that. At least we know where to put our attention on that. So if your warm-up consists mostly of lung work, great. That means you can trust your voice when you go to sing a song, that it would behave in ways that's nice and consistent. But 15, 20 minutes should do the trick. Oh, why do I always feel like I'm gripping with my throat? How can I get myself to relax? That's a really, really good question. Again, all compensatory responses, gripping with your throat, is a compensatory response, meaning your voice is trying to control what's happening. And oftentimes the gripping with the throat means that there's a big fluctuation in lack of air. The voice feels unstable, and bang, those vocal cords grip in response to that. So how can I get it to relax? An easy way is just sing in what's called sottovoce, which means under the voice or half of the voice. A lot of people don't like to hear that, especially if they identify themselves with being belters, because that basically says sing quiet, sing quietly. And then you're not really belting. I mean, you can be. You should be able to control dynamics when you're belting, but for a lot of people who have that compensatory response of squeezing, overly squeezing at the throat, called hyperphonation. I'm trying to make everything happen at the level of the throat instead of it being through the lungs. if that's you, a great way to do that is just go slow and be quiet. If you can control it being slow and quiet, then you can slowly increase that intensity with the same kind of criteria. Can I feel that my breath is doing most of the work? Cool. I hope that was helpful for you. Ooh, why do we tend to fall flat on the last note of a phrase? It's a BB Jones. Hey, Jones. That's my maiden name. Ooh, we might be related. Why do we tend to fall flat on the last note of a phrase? Well, couple things. Big thing is when the breath is not behaving supportive, we're losing breath intensity, we're losing concentration of that airflow, then the support literally falls, which means the pitch falls. So again, if this was really hard for you, work it. What am I trying to say? Make it less complicated. Try not to do the whole octave. Just do 2 notes. 2 notes. So if I'm going C, let me pull this back out. Let's say I'm doing, well, let's say that's even too long. Then I would do that. And I would just concentrate on the relationship between those 2 pitches. That kind of behavior, kind of slowly going almost like a little slide between the 2, keeps that breath nice and, that flow rate nice and high. That way it always feels nice and supported by you, and supporting notes would be very, very easy. But can you react, analyze your subscriber singing someday? Ooh, Sophia. That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. I will get back to you on that because that would be something I'd very much like to do. Very much like to do. Let's see. I'm going to scroll real fast. Looking for those question marks. Ooh, what was this in response to? I think it's okay to forget. Your body will remember what you do in practice. I don't know the initial question to that, but I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I'm somebody that feels very comforted by practice, and it takes away a lot of anxiety for me. So let's say, for example, I am going in to perform somewhere and I'm feeling anxiety. Well, I know that one, for me, it's kind of a normal response, but I know that I've practiced enough that I can trust my body. I practice a lot. I enjoy practicing. So I practice enough where I know that I can trust my body, and therefore I can quiet my mind and just step onto that stage and do my thing. Just looking, bear with me guys, just looking for question marks. And I think we're kind of towards the top. I have such trouble, BB. I have such trouble withdrawing a breath in between phrases and not drying out my throat. I haven't figured out the secret. Well, ooh, there's no secret to that. Make sure that's why hydration is so important. When you pull in the air through your mouth, the air is literally passing your vocal cords. Your vocal cords open, the air goes, and then they close again. So you are literally, that cool air is drying. It's very drying for your vocal cords. Now, there's some school of thought that says, well, then breathe in through your nose. Because you can breathe in through your nose, the air passes those little fibers, which keeps the air semi-moist as it goes into your lungs. The problem that I have with that is that when you find yourself in a song, you want to establish a breathing pattern, which means you've got to get maximum amount of like a vacuum, creating a vacuum kind of effect where that inhale can just kind of come in really quickly and go again to the bottom of the lungs. The problem is if you practice with breathing through your nose, often there's a response of like you're pulling in the breath, which comes right to the top of the chest and the top of the back. So I think the medicine for keeping your vocal cords and your throat nice and moist is drink an obscene amount of water. Just keep your body nice and hydrated. And I always have, it's really funny, but not funny. My husband calls me the little girl from Signs. What was her name? The little girl? Because I have an ungodly amount of drinks everywhere, all over the house, like glasses of water everywhere. And he's like, what's wrong with this drink? And I'm like, it's old. What's wrong with this drink? It's got dust in it. What's wrong with this drink? It tastes weird. It's like there's so many bottles of water I have absolutely everywhere because I'm always singing. Another thing you can do is steam, like a nice steamy shower, or even a nebulizer. I know that I've gone off into a weird thing, but I really like nebulizers. It's basically like a little steamer that you hold with your hand, and it does those micro fine particles that can keep like your throat nice and moist. Weird word, I know, but then it also hydrates your lungs. I am so talky. Sorry, guys. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I'm always eager to hear what you want on a live next time. So be sure to leave comments below, whether it's in the comment portion of today's video or once it's on YouTube. It goes to YouTube directly after we get off here. So be sure to leave in the comments portion of this video what you want the next live to be about. This is a co-creative space. So whatever you want to explore with your voice, I'm down to explore it with you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're over the pond and you're ready to go to bed, then I wish you sweet dreams. And if you're going to carry on with your day stateside, have an awesome day. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you on Monday.